For today's cup of coffee, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, which is make a more serious video. But I think it needs to be talked about, and that is depression. And that's something that a lot of people struggle with this time of year. It's a really, really rough time when you have depression. For those of us that have clinical depression. I've had it since I was about 12. And so it's not something new, and you learn to deal with it, and that's what I'm hopefully going to do, is give people some suggestions on how to deal with the depression, especially during the winter time. It's it's compounded. Normal depression is compounded with seasonal affective disorder, which is low light levels. So you're going to want to increase vitamin D. Always check with your doctor before you start any kind of herbs or supplements or anything like that, because there are certain conditions, especially kidney conditions and stuff like that, that vitamin D may not be recommended. So that's one thing. Now today we did have some sunshine. Got a little bit of sky there. It was kind of disheartening to see the planes flying and spraying today, but you make the best of it. And the little cups of coffee has been part of my therapy for quite a while now. And I know that there's people that's like, well, you only have 3 people that watch. Well, that's okay. That's 3 people that I give a damn that they're on the planet. And those 3 people that take the time out of their day to tell me they're glad that I'm on the planet. That's encouraging to me. If you go to somebody else's video that there's not that many people on there and stuff, thank them, because they took the time and the effort. Not everybody can be one of these mega tubers or whatever it is. And you don't know how much effort it took that person to make the video. Give a little bit of encouragement to them. That is something, when you encourage somebody else, that helps you, in addition to helping someone else. Hot cups of coffee, or warm drinks, hot teas, different things like that for the winter. Things that are self-soothing is what those are called. It's very easy to get into bad habits when you have depression. It's not just a mindset thing. It also does affect your body. I have fibromyalgia in addition to the other, and they don't know. It's like, does the fibromyalgia make the depression worse, or does the depression make the fibromyalgia worse? And the answer is yes. So, with that, I had a psychiatrist to explain one time. She said that depression is inflammation of the brain, which makes perfect sense. So you're going to want to do things that decrease inflammation. Try to avoid certain foods and stuff like that that can make that condition work or worse. There is limited brain function. That is what is compounding the depression, because there are days that you want to do and you physically cannot do. There are days that the brain does not process the way that it normally does. If you are like me and also have a touch of dyslexia, it makes it worse. I have to check, double check, triple check before I post a comment on any of the sites and stuff like that to prevent verbal dyslexia or something like that. I caught myself later and it's like, oh, need to go back and edit that. And it's okay. If you need to take a nap, take a nap. Be careful for as far as oversleeping, undersleeping, because with depression, it can very much cause you to do one or the other, overeating, undereating. Be careful and do not get in too much into your head, because now that can be, your own brain can be your own worst enemy. Don't concern yourself with things that you can't fix. Be aware of situations that's in the world right now, but do what God presents you to do each and every day. And if that's taking care of you, then that's a full-time job in and of itself. hard candies. Do things like that that's, tactile, plus it's tasty. Simple things. Coloring books. Now, that is something I'm very grateful that we have a lot of people that are producing some of the adult coloring books because that could be a very soothing thing. Get you a piece of paper and an ink pen and doodle. Make stick figures. Nobody is expecting you to be Leonardo da Vinci. That's already been done anyhow. You do you. Color is something that is a big benefit. That's why I keep going back to the red of the holly berries. Because where everything is monochromatic, for a long time, I do believe that people become deficient in certain colors. Music is another thing. Be careful what they say and don't be listening to go out and get yourself drunk music. That is not going to help the situation. As far as trying to self-medicate, that is not going to help the situation. It's just going to make it worse, and you're going to feel worse, and then you got toxins in your system, and that's going to make the depression worse and the pain worse. So have some common sense on this. Seek out things that are happy. If it's a matter of petting a kitty, pet therapy is phenomenal. I mean, it truly is. If you've got a goldfish, get you a goldfish. You can get one of those for under $1 usually. And just sit and watch it swim. Something to get your mind on something other than whatever. Be careful, it's called ruminating. And that is where things that happened, I don't know, when you was 2 years old, you pissed off because somebody stole your lollipop. Get over that, okay? This can be a great time to reflect on yourself, to look at situations that occurred earlier in your life, and to deal with them. Look at them from an adult brain's perspective instead of a kid brain perspective. Okay? And you can sit there and go, okay, I was a kid, this is what happened. This was the reality of what happened. Parents really were not being mean to me. They were trying to teach me. And if it was a matter that you did have abuse, deal with it. Don't sit there and hide from it. Find you a therapist. Now, I understand that a lot of the clinics and the different therapy places are closed. You can do Zoom appointments and stuff like that even with therapy, so it is still available to you. If you are in crisis mode, reach out for help. Now, there are suicide hotlines all over the place. If I can find one, I will try to post it in the comment section. How you feel in this moment is not how things are always going to be. Your perspective on the situation in this moment can very well change the very next day. It's okay to sit and be uncomfortable, And that is something that people have forgotten. You don't have to be happy and smiling and bouncy all the time. In fact, that's kind of abnormal. So to be okay being uncomfortable doesn't mean you have to like it, but to realize that this too shall pass. So there are things that you can do to help yourself. And one of the best things to do is plan ahead. And I did do that this year. If it's a matter of increased lighting, I got a lot of the LED lights installed in the house while it was still warm to try to prevent dark, because dark is painful to me on multiple levels when it's like this. Color, that's the reason I have the chartreuse hallway and the purple living room and different things like that. It's the reason I have Bela Lugosi in the living room, because it brings me joy. I'm not telling you you have to be mountain goth, but if you want to be mountain goth, let me know and I can help you on that. But these things make me happy. You do what makes you happy. If you like ducks, if you want to sit around and listen to the mukbang all day long, that's all right. If you can't make it a day at a time, take it a minute at a time. Take it a second at a time. but you will get through this. If you know somebody, if you don't have the depression yourself and know somebody that does, help them. Call on them. Just ask them if they're doing okay, if they need to talk. You'd be amazed at just how much simple human kindness can be, especially if you've got older people that are near you and stuff like that. Check on those folks, because a lot of them already feel forgotten. And if you do something for somebody else, it's going to be a blessing for everybody. Have yourself another cup of coffee and know that you're loved. And you all have a beautiful, blessed day.